All right, guys. Well, thank you for joining once again on this session and the first day of the Decarbonisation Hack from Home. So the purpose of this session is to discuss a little bit more about the nature of the competition. So what I'm going to do is just discuss the competition a bit, the nature of the outputs that we're looking for, resources that you can access, the presentation that you guys will make, and the assessment criteria. So let me just make note of that. So if we speak firstly about the competition itself, so as flagged, like most hackathons, there's a competitive edge. So in order to really excite and infuse everyone, we've when you form the teams, the goal is that as you get the projects, scope the projects, work out what yourself and your team members are interested in up to. So that ultimately, the plan is for you to submit your projects, for these to be judged and for them to be an award. The award is to a value of £5,000. So it's a nice award. The idea is once you guys settle your team formation in the next hour or two, you then work through today, through tonight as well if you're going to, particularly because you'll be quite likely in very different time zones, so some of you can always be working. Then go into tomorrow, do the same, then ultimately submit your deliverables at 23:59 on Sunday night. In terms of what we're looking for you to create a pitch deck. We have a pitch deck template, which we'll be sharing with you. It has several slides. We then ask you to submit a video, I think 1.5 minutes, where your team lead or whoever feels comfortable on the team will explain a little bit more about the idea, the problem, the solution, impact, what you're trying to do, yourself and your team. And then also, if you've done something particularly cool and interesting, you can also submit a URL if you have, a web page or anything that you wanted to show us. So those are the three things that you'll be assessed on, particularly the pitch deck and the video. The URL is kind of like a bit of razzle dazzle if you have anything in particular to show us, but the assessment will really focus on the deck. Our judges are selected members of the Dataswift sort of wider academic community. They'll be giving up their time, very grateful to do so. It'll take place over the course of next week, and then we'll announce the winners on Sunday or Monday of the week after. So something to look forward to. We decided to arrange it like this in order to maximize the time that you guys have working on your ideas over the course of this weekend. Typically you might have the judging take place on a hackathon at say 6 p.m, but we wanted to give you guys the extra hours. However, we also want to make sure that you can all learn from one another and share ideas. And so to that end, what we've done is we actually are creating as well a presentation session. So from, I think it's 9 to 11 tomorrow night, there will be the Dragon's Den / general project show and tell. And that's an opportunity for you to come up and show your ideas to whoever might, just to the rest of the hackathon, to whoever might be interested in listening. It's a chance to get feedback from your fellow attendees. And most excitingly, it's a chance to get feedback from Professor Irene Ung, the serial entrepreneur, Professor of Digital Transformation and Dataswift CEO, who is relishing the role of being the dragon in our own miniature Dragon's Den for the weekend. Now, I emphasize with this presentation section, this is something that's very much for fun. It's for you guys to improve your pitch, to have fun, explain things to one another, to also get a chance to get some interesting feedback and coaching from Irene, who's a very experienced intellectual leader and business leader, and just generally have some value through that. What it is not is something you're going to be scored on. The scoring will take place solely on the pitch and the demo, the pitch and the video that you submit at 23:59 on Sunday night. So the scoring, the actual decision making will be taking place the following week. That's just something I want to really emphasize. So the presentation's for fun, the assessment comes later. Now, we have some resources open to you. This is it's on hackfromhome/leads-team/ Lord Almighty, what is happening to my pronunciation? So we have a link, it's hackfromhome/teams-leads-energy. This will be shared on general and across all our other channels. So this is, as we've already emphasized earlier in the talks, our primary point of communication is with the team leads, but this is a document that we invite you all to read because it has stuff on the outputs and the assessment criteria and where to submit things. So this is a link we'll be sharing now. Vinny, if you could share that in case it hasn't already been shared anywhere. That's the place to refer to for your resource on what you're trying to do and achieve. Now, on the assessment criteria, which are obviously quite important for winning the competition, to actually get assessed, we've listed the assessment criteria up there. But basically what we're looking for is, we want to know that you thought through the problem. We want to know the capability that you guys have. We want to know how viable the project is. Right? Is it sensible, or are you saying you want to, I don't know. We just want to make sure that it isn't a completely pie in the sky idea. There's then a presentation, how will you guys actually explain it? And then there's relevance and impact, which is to what degree has the team really focused on solutions that use personal data and decarbonisation. So yeah, you'll be assessed on each of these in turn. The assessment scale is 10 points for each criteria. And so that'll open up a good range of scores for the judges when they come to see them. So all of this will be public. We'll be sharing it up on that link, which Vinny's sharing. And yeah, you can refer to that if you have any questions. Other than that, we'll always remain on hand if you have anything that you want to ask us. So, you can message myself and Teresa or anyone else that has organizer by their name. You can do that either in your team Slack channel or just as a one-on-one. And yeah, we're on hand to help. In terms of sessions that follow on from this, so we have a session with Sean Yeager, a pitch doctor session where he'll be explaining how best to construct your pitch, try and match your proposals against the project criteria. So that'll be quite useful. That's later on today. We also have some sessions on infrastructure for personal data and how that can help your project. So use of Dataswift infrastructure most particularly. So I'll be leading one a little while after this. We then have some sessions led by Gus and Ty on the dev team about how to use personal data accounts for the personal data side of things. And yeah, we'll take it from there. Now that sort of concludes the general summary of the competition and how to win it. I guess broadly I'd say, we're looking for exciting ideas, big ideas, ideas that we can actually achieve. I mentioned it in the previous talk, but I'll mention it again now. The last hackathon we ran, COVID-19 themed one, the ideas were so good and so exciting, and the teams formed were so enthusiastic that they ended up becoming two commercial applications ended up coming out of the hackathon for contact tracing applications. And this is something that we're very keen to try and replicate this time around of this event. So if you guys have the right idea and are committed, this is something that we can help facilitate for you for sure. All right, well that concludes my portion of the talk, but I'd love to hear if you guys have any questions, feedback, comments, rants, whatever you might have. I see there's one question in the Q&A. My team needs to participate on Sunday show and tell. Is it mandatory? No, it's not mandatory at all. It's really just a nice to have. We think it'll be fun for you guys to do. But if you're too busy or if you're scattered in time zones where it's impractical, then you don't have to. The thing that is necessary is to submit at 1 minute to 12 on Sunday night. Any other questions? No? All right then. Oh, we do have a question. Any tangible prototype expected together with PowerPoint, just a well-structured idea and business plan? I think, we're open to both. We definitely want to, the output is the business plan and the idea, but a well-structured prototype will definitely be looked upon favorably. When we say prototype, we really mean, what we're really interested in is what data are you going to get, how are you going to manage it, what are you going to do with it, where are you going to store it, these kind of questions. So in particular, infrastructure diagrams will be very useful, showing the entire system that you created. We don't necessarily actually expect you to hard code an application over the course of the weekend. Though if you do, that could certainly get some X factor points. But yes, definitely emphasis on thinking through the system, data sources, the data flows, who's sharing what, where, and why, and how they profit from it. Remember what we said about the themes at the beginning. So we're very interested in the market making side of things. How with these data flows, with these business ideas, will people be incentivized in the long range? So there's a question of getting in the data, creating the tool, but then what then? How does it change the world? So we're quite interested in that. So another question, do I need to use Dataswift? It's not a mandatory portion of the event. So if you have an idea that really doesn't fit Dataswift, but still involves personal data, yeah, sure, we can certainly entertain it. What we'd say is, this event is about the personal data component of decarbonisation. So hence our repeated emphasis on the personal data side. And we believe that Dataswift, is very useful for the ethical management and storage of personal data. But if for your particular solution, you don't believe that's the case, but it's still, validly about personal data, then that's fine. So yeah, I'd really like to emphasize this point actually on personal data. Maybe I wasn't explicit enough on the other things. So I think all the project ideas have got the picture. This event is all about the personal data element of decarbonisation. When we say decarbonisation is such a broad field, right? I mean, it touches on so many different systems and processes. For us, it's all about what can you do with people's personal data on their devices, on their consumption habits, on anything really, to drive positive change, to give them insights, to give them value, to make new business and community practices. So yeah, emphasis on personal data. As I say, we think Dataswift should be useful for that. But if you have an idea where Dataswift really couldn't work for it, then by all means, please do submit it all the same, and it'll be scored the same as the others. All right, guys. Well, I can't see any other questions. Is there any platform provided to manage code machine learning models? We're not providing any particular platforms, but if you want advice on it, then we can certainly offer it, as we have, obviously a large amount of coders and machine learning experts on our teams who are very happy to help you with that, if you need anything in particular. So please, by all means, go on to DevTalk or message me privately, and I'll put you in touch with some resourcing on that.
That's great.
Any more questions?
Thanks, James. I just want to say as well that there's the team leads page that has all the info about submissions material that was shared again in the team leads channel. Yeah.
Great. All right, guys. Cool. All right. Well, thanks very much, guys. Looking forward to having you engaging over the weekend. I'm sure we're gonna have some really interesting ideas come out the other side. Thanks very much. Please feel free to message me if you ever have anything you want to chat about. Teresa has volunteered to sing. If you guys have any good songs, she's actually an expert traditional German singer. So yeah, if you have any ballads or hymns or what have you, please by all means put them into the random channel on Slack. And if we're lucky, we might persuade her to sing. Okay, thanks very much.
Okay.
Have a good weekend, guys. Bye-bye.
Okay, thank you.